I thank the gentlelady and thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, in the spirit of geothermal energy, we're sure hearing a lot of hot air from the other side with this fantastical narrative that Republicans, I guess, are now lowering costs and saving health care. The American people can decide whether they want to believe those whoppers. But today, it is at least refreshing to see our colleagues across the aisle tiptoeing back in the direction of this all-of-the-above energy policy that they always swore they supported, but for the past year plus, they have cheerleaded Donald Trump's insane war on clean energy that is trying to destroy an entire sector to surrender American leadership to China and others and drive up utility bills for the American people. But nevertheless, I welcome the fact that we're talking today about geothermal energy. Like the gentlelady from Arizona, the ranking member, I like geothermal energy a lot. This is something that we should be working on together in a bipartisan way. I represent the largest geothermal energy plant in America in my district, and I'm proud of it. I want to see more of it. And good geothermal energy projects can move forward with bipartisan support and with very expeditious permitting. But good geothermal energy projects don't need the kind of sweeping waiver that is proposed in this legislation, which simply misses the mark. So let's talk about that. Under this bill, a geothermal project would no longer require a federal drilling permit if it is on land where the surface is not federally owned, but the subsurface is, significantly, up to 50% of the acreage. Now, while this may sound innocuous, oh, it's just, subsurface, it's below what we can see with our eyes. Without a federal permit, the core safeguards for development affecting federal resources would totally disappear. That includes protections under the National Environmental Policy Act, the National Historic Preservation Act, and the Endangered Species Act, and all of it would be waived for geothermal exploration, for development, and for the production activities that would be covered under this bill. That goes entirely too far, and it's bad news for tribes, for communities, and property owners on the ground. Again, good projects don't need this kind of sweeping free pass from environmental review. Under the circumstances laid out in this bill, all federal oversight goes away, along with public input and consultation requirements, and that includes tribal consultation. It takes away opportunities for public involvement that can make projects better. It takes away the convening process that brings federal, tribal, state, and local entities to the table so they can identify basic health and safety risks, so they can flag concerns and work through conflicts and impacts to protect the resources that are owned by the American people, even if they're below the ground, even if they're not something you can see with the naked eye. Now, this public input and compliance with federal laws like NEPA and others is essential to building a solid foundation for our clean energy future. We need these type of energy projects, but we need to do them right. Because let's be clear, underground drilling can still have impacts above the ground, like sinking, subsidence, settlement of lands, earthquakes, and other resources like groundwater. Geothermal development is a lot safer than oil and gas, but there still are some risks. It's not zero, and the public deserves the opportunity to engage. I will say that this bill is also playing games with percentages. The threshold is set at 50% federal subsurface ownership, and that may sound trivial, it may sound reasonable, but even my rudimentary math skills tell me that 50% of a project that might be 2,000 acres is 1,000 acres. That's a lot of land. That's a lot of potential impacts. It is not insignificant. And another alarming point about this bill, without a federal drilling permit, it creates a gray area for underground injection control permits, which allows for these permits allow for the assessment of potential seismic activity. How could we not look at that? These injection control permits aren't in our Natural Resource Committee's jurisdiction, and this is something that I brought up in the markup. I urged the majority to consider working with the Energy and Commerce Committee to add clarifying language to make sure those permits would still be required. And unfortunately, the majority failed to address that concern. Now, there's no clear opportunity to require bonds if this legislation passes, and that would otherwise need to happen because we're talking about federal resources. What happens if there is a subsidence event within the federal resource? States and property owners would be on the hook. We're talking about publicly owned resources here, even if you can't see them, and the federal government has an obligation to steward them responsibly. Now, the last thing I want to emphasize is that this bill is clearly not just about geothermal energy. This is the proverbial camel's nose under the tent. The oil and gas industry has been trying to get this same policy, this same broad waiver for subsurface federal lands for years. This is a precedent we should not set, and mark my words, if this legislation advances before this sputtering Congress comes to an end later this year, you will see another bill where the oil and gas industry is seeking the same treatment. To deploy clean energy, we don't need to create shortcuts and exemptions from oversight. What we need is to fully fund our agencies so that they can have the capacity for thorough, efficient, and timely reviews. I would be happy to work with my colleagues across the aisle to advance responsible and well-balanced geothermal and other renewable energy development on federal lands, but I have to urge my colleagues to vote no on this poorly drafted legislation, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from Arizona reserves.
Reserve the balance of my time. Thank you.